Ladies and gentlemen, blurs and nerds, freaks and geeks, I am your host, Nix, and we are back once again for episode 2 of Do You Speak Geek? Thanks to everyone. Thank y'all so much. I mean, we had a good opening. Thanks to everyone who listened to the previous episode. Thanks to all the new followers, all the new subscribers. You guys are very instrumental in making this show a success, and from the bottom of my heart, man, I thank you all. If you haven't noticed by now, or if you didn't catch the announcement via the social media, we are on iTunes now, and I think that's a pretty big deal for me. So if you got an iPhone, or if you're at work and you got a Mac, or you got an iPad, whatever iDevice you have, hit up the podcast app on iTunes, search for Do You Speak Geek, and you can be a fellow subscriber. You can listen in every week, and I hope you all enjoy it. Speaking of the social medias, man, y'all can follow me on Facebook at DYSG Media, on Twitter at _ Do You Speak Geek, and Instagram at Do You Speak Geek. Once again, the YouTube show for Do You Speak Geek is coming soon. Until then, you guys can always listen here for the podcast. Also, shout out to Spreaker, who is the host of the podcast. They have been very good to me so far, and I look to staying with them for a very, very long time. Also on YouTube, the Daddy and Dono Show has a latest episode. It is a full review, spoiler and non-spoiler, of the movie Shazam. Me and my son saw an advanced screening of that show, and I hope you all enjoyed our review. The YouTube channel, like I said, go on there, hit subscribe, like it, hit that bell for all notifications, and please, please, please leave comments. We love comments. We want to know what you guys think. Website still coming soon, doyouspeakgeek.com, and also the Patreon is coming soon as well. I haven't thought of what to do for the Patreon people. That's pretty much basically why it's not up yet. If you guys have any ideas, again, hit social media's up, hit the comments here, hit the comments on iTunes, let me know what you guys think. I love to get your feedback. Well, we are here, episode 2, so let's speak geek. Now, in featured news, we have the Apple event. The Apple event was pretty major. They had a lot of announcements at the Apple event. I know a lot of you guys out there who have iPhones and your team iPhone, you kind of rejoiced a bit. Apple channels and Apple TV, it's pretty much a custom channel lineup. You pick your own channels. You know, I think that's dope. I think cable services should have got on this. But, you know, it took people like Apple to finally go ahead and make that move and make it happen. And I'm excited about it. I really do hope it's great. It lives up to its expectations. Not only custom channel lineups, but you can download shows and movies for offline viewing. And you stay in the program across platforms. Let's say you start an episode of Game of Thrones on your iPhone and you get home, bam, Apple TV, and you're ready to go there. So that's a good part of it as well. Another thing they announced was the Apple Card. I thought this was pretty dope. It's a built-in and also physical card. The card is made out of titanium, and it has your information etched into the card. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be fun when you drop that on the countertop, you know, whenever you go to hit up whatever retail outlets you go to. It's a partnership with MasterCard and Goldman Sachs. It works for food services, online, and also in stores, like I said here. Of course, you know there will be a credit check required. They say that this thing is geared up for their preferred Apple users, so kind of know what that means. But you can always go to theapple.com and sign up for more details on the Apple Card. Another big thing is the Apple News Plus service. Basically, it's $9.99 a month. First month's free and allows family sharing. Magazine subscription service to over 300 plus titles. If you're the kind of person who loves to go to Barnes & Noble or wherever you go to get your books and your literature, the magazine section is always pretty deep. It's like wall-to-wall stuff. If you're the kind of person who likes to read Food Network and then turn right around and read Field and Stream and turn right around and then read, I don't know, whatever game magazine, PlayStation Monthly, if you want to read that, those are the kind of things that'll be available on this Apple News Plus service. And finally, the one thing that I was excited the most about from this Apple event was Apple Arcade. Apple Arcade, a gaming streaming service. Actually, not streaming really, it's a subscription service basically. No price announced yet. It's available for all platforms, iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple TV. Access to over 100 plus new and exclusive games. Basically, it's everything on iOS that people who have iPhones don't pay for, and they just download the free game. No ads, no DLC required, and it also offers offline gameplay. I find that kind of interesting that they dropped this pretty much a week right after Google announced the Stadia video game streaming service. So I guess competition is the best thing when it comes to video games. You know, back in the day, Nintendo had Sega. Nowadays, PlayStation has Xbox. I guess Google's going to go head-to-head with Apple when it comes to a subscription service for video gaming. I'm here for it. Let's do it. Last thing in major news, Avengers Endgame is 3 hours long, people. 3 hours and I think 2 minutes, 3 hours and 5. There are no words or plans for an intermission. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this too long? Is this too long for a movie? Now, me personally, you know, of those of you who have been paying attention, I'm a black guy. And I grew up in a black church. And you guys have already seen the memes. You've seen Kev on Stage do a video. Shout out to Kev on Stage. If you grew up in a black church, you are ready for this. You've been bred for this. This is going to be a no problem for you. And even if you didn't go to a black church, you ever been to a black salon? You know, this kind of stuff is going to be no problem for the blurs out there. No problem whatsoever. We got this in the bag. But for some people, you know, who knows? It may be too long for you. You may want to, you know, skip this one and wait till it comes out on Blu-ray or catch it on digital online. Also, with Avengers Endgame, there are new black and white and color posters that came out. The internet took this and ran with it, creating their own. I saw that Ghost from Captain Marvel got his own poster. They did one for Stan Lee, which it was too soon, way too soon for that. But yeah, the posters look good. Of course, the color ones are the Avengers who are still living, and the black and white are the Fallen, with the phrase "Avenge the Fallen" right across the poster of every character face there. I like them. I hope they put a collage together with all of them, and some way we can just, you know, download that and make that your wallpaper or your screensaver, whatever the case may be. Anyways, folks, let's jump right into the source wall. So this week, DC Hot Picks, we got Batman 1000. This is the 1000th, actually not Batman, it's Detective Comics 1000. It's the 1000th issue of this book. Detective Comics 1000 was amazing from beginning to end. Several little short stories here and there. I liked the part where the Bat fam got together for a photo. I thought that was pretty good. And it also introduced a new villain. New to some, not to most. It brought in the Arkham Knight. And a lot of people who played Batman Arkham Knight, like myself, know that in the game, the Arkham Knight was Jason Todd. Well, in the comics, Jason Todd is still very much the Red Hood. So it's interesting to see who this adaptation of the Arkham Knight is going to be. Don't know. I have a few theories, but we'll see. Last DC Hot Pick we got is Heroes in Crisis number 7. This story has been a crazy one. I won't spoil anything in this issue. I'll just leave it be. But definitely go read that one. Marvel Hot Picks, we got Daredevil 3. We have a major save in this one from Daredevil. Well, not from Daredevil. Daredevil is saved by someone. I won't ruin that either. But this has been a good book I've been following for quite some time. I've been enjoying this new thing of Daredevil here. He's trying to get back to business as being the protector of Hell's Kitchen, and just stuff's getting in his way. Finally, we got X-Force 5. We got a younger Cable running around this time. A lot of you who have been paying attention here lately, back during the Extermination storyline, we had a new Cable being introduced. So he has his new book now where he's joined pretty much the staple members of X-Force. We got Domino, we got Warpath, and a few others. Shatterstar's in there, I believe, as well, too. So it's a good issue. Check it out. Go read the back issues if you can. You can go on to Comixology or either the Marvel.com app on your smartphone or tablet and check those out. Other releases from the publisher IDW. From the Netflix series, we have Glow #1. As you know, on Netflix, there's a show Glow based upon the women's wrestling publication or association, federation. Yeah, women's wrestling. The new comic is based on that show. Go check that out if you're interested in the show. I'm pretty sure you'll like the comic as well. In comic news, Marvel's release slate comes out. They hit us with a whole lot of stuff, people. War of the Realms is next month. It's pretty much something they've been building up to in all the Thor books. And it's going to feature a lot of other Marvel characters as well. It's going to be... I've seen the cover already. It looks pretty good. I hope it lives up to the hype. It's going to be across a lot of books. Not just Thor books, but other books as well. Jonathan Hickman. Last week we talked about how Jonathan Hickman was teased to coming back to doing something for Marvel. Well, now we know what it is, people. Jonathan Hickman is doing House of X and Power of X. These are both 2 X-Men books. They're coming out in July. Jonathan Hickman always shows out. He always shows up. When he writes, he comes to play. He's doing X-Men now, and I think it's going to be another big, major thing for the X-Men as far as their canon goes. I mean, we've seen what was done back in Giant Size X-Men and what was done during Age of Apocalypse and what was done during Inferno. I think Jonathan Hickman is going to really do something major with this one as well, too, with these 2 stories. We also got Absolute Carnage coming out in August of this year. My boy Cletus Cassidy is back, and he is coming for everybody who's ever worn a symbiote suit. And I'm here for it. He's going to be slicing and dicing, doing his thing. I can't wait. Last thing they had was an event in December, yet to be revealed. It's a seminal event from the aforementioned ones. Hopefully these events all lead up to one major big event that we get this Christmas. And I can't wait. I'm here for it. In other comic news, we have the DC Universe app, the DC Online service. They're set to add the complete digital library of comics on that app. So basically, you're going to have access to thousands and thousands of comics that are at least 1 year old. You won't have all the new stuff from this year, but if it's at least a year old, they're going to release it onto this app. And I'm here to tell you, if you guys are interested in catching up on DC stories, this is going to be your big opportunity to do that. And they have not said anything about raising the price. It's still going to be $7.99 a month for people, $74.99 if you pay for it for the year. I think it's a great look. If you guys want to get into comics or DC Comics, this will be your way. Now we're going to transition into Watch This. So, Angelina Jolie in talks to have a role in the upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, The Eternals. She is possibly going to be playing the role of Cersei, one of the Eternals. The Eternals are pretty much these celestial gods who live amongst us on Earth, and we don't know about it. There are several layers to these Eternals. Unbeknownst to a lot of people, the foundation for the Eternals was already laid just by the appearance of Thanos. These guys, the Eternals, they're obscure, lesser-known characters, but at the time, no one really knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were either, and now they have become household names. I mean, you see people... I would never have dreamed of the day where I could see kids dressing up as Rocket Raccoon or Star-Lord or Groot for Halloween. That's amazing to me. Just the fact that these lesser-known characters are now household names proves just how powerful the MCU has become. I'm here for Angelina Jolie being a part of this film. A big name could draw in more of an audience and get this thing kicked off the ground the right way. The Umbrella Academy Season 2 will start filming in 2 months. Season 1 was awesome. A lot of people who enjoyed Season 1 have shouted the praises for this Dark Horse comic made a show. And I really hope that Season 2 lives up to the hype. It's going to be amazing. In other news, Dragon Ball Super, their new arc coming up. As you all may have read the blogs, Moro is one of the newer villains who has the ability to snatch the Super Saiyan ability from Goku and Vegeta. But even after that arc is done, the people behind Dragon Ball Super have stated that the next arc following that will be, quote, super fan servicey. Basically, they're going to be giving fans a lot of what they want. And a lot of people are speculating that's going to be making Super Saiyan 4 canon once again. A lot of other things could be mentioned in there. We may get a Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. We may finally go ahead and get a Super Saiyan God form from Trunks. We may get several other things that may happen. We may finally get a Teen Goten. You know, I would love to see that happen. We may finally get to see Gohan go to a mode beyond this Mystic Gohan mode that he has. There's a lot of things that could be happening in this fan servicey sort of art. But we'll see what happens. I'm here for it. It's DBZ. Of course you're here for it. It's DBZ. Epix has a new original series from DC Comics called Pennyworth. They recently released a trailer for that. And it looks like a decent show. But here's my thing. I want to know who of you out there asked for this show. I mean, just to be curious. I mean, to me, it just seems like these people out here, these producers in these studios, it's like everybody want to do a Batman and Superman show, but don't nobody want to do a Batman or Superman show. No, I mean, seriously. People want to do these shows about Batman and Superman, but they don't want to do shows about Batman and Superman. And I understand that there may be some sort of a licensing issue when it comes to these sort of things, and they can't have rights to certain characters, they can't say certain things or certain words within these shows. But I mean, come on, if you're not going to do it right, then don't do it at all. And if you're going to just do something to put it out there, don't do something like this. I mean, really, are you interested in seeing a show about Alfred Pennyworth before he becomes the butler of the Waynes? Before the Waynes become murdered and before Bruce Wayne becomes Batman. Like, this is actually if you want to think about it, this is a prequel to Gotham. Like, how far back in the history of Batman do you guys want to dig? I mean, if anything, the CW proves that we as fans We want capes. We want tights. We want flights. We want superpowers. And it just shows that we want these sort of things. Speaking of Gotham, Fox drops a promo image of Batman for the final season of Gotham. Not really. This image, if you all have seen it, it's just simply a back headshot, if you will, of Batman. It's just a guy who has the cape and cowl on. And, you know, it's okay to hype. I wouldn't call it an image of Batman. It's just the backdrop of him, you know, the behind the cape and cowl. You see the pointy ears, you know, you see that. This is to get us all excited about the 2-part series finale coming up in 3 weeks on April the 18th. The show will end the next week, and that'll be it for Gotham. I liked Gotham coming out. I think what killed Gotham, because the fact that it got canceled, so to speak. The people at Fox, they said, okay, we'll give you guys one more year to wrap things up. And they're trying to do that. They're trying to pretty much rush and scramble to get this thing done. This last season, I haven't been enjoying it as much as I'd like to because it feels so rushed. They really haven't fleshed out the story of Bruce Wayne becoming Batman to me. But hopefully we will see some sort of a payoff in the end. Hopefully not a Smallville-esque type of payoff. I just think that the show's momentum was killed throughout all these hiatuses they took. You know, well, they'll give us like 5 or 6 episodes and then they're gone for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month. And then they come back. And I mean, I think they need to realize that there is such a thing as out of sight, out of mind. And I think that's what killed the momentum of this show, or any other show for that matter. In more DC Universe news, this came out just last night, actually. DC Universe has set several premiere dates. We got Swamp Thing, people, on May 31st. I am super, super, super excited about Swamp Thing. The producers of the show are saying this show is going to scare you. I am here for it. I can't wait. I'm a big fan of Swamp Thing, reading the comics. If it's as scary or as creepy or as majestic as it is in the comics, this show is going to rule. So that's going to be dope. We got Young Justice Season 3 picking back up after its mid-season finale, coming up on July 3rd. If you all been following Young Justice, first of all, I'm just happy it's back, number 1. And 2, I'm happy it's coming back soon, so I'm ready for that. We have Titans, the show Titans. We have Season 2 of Titans, and also the Harley Quinn animated series. That's set to premiere sometime this fall, so be on the lookout for that one. Also, we have Stargirl. That's going to be coming out early next year. And the star of Stargirl, the star of Stargirl, that's funny. The star of Stargirl, Brec Basinger, who I don't think is the daughter of Kim Basinger. I don't think she is. I'll have to R&D that. Costume reveal at WonderCon last night. And it looks pretty dope. It's pretty accurate. I like it. I'm here for it. I've been a fan of this whole streaming service from the beginning. And I'm going to continue to follow it and continue to be a part of it. So, next we've got Thumb Life. Thumb Life, we have the trailer for Borderlands 3. I know a lot of people out there are big fans of Borderlands. Borderlands 3 looks pretty good, man. I can't lie. It had me excited. So Borderlands 3 is coming soon. Yeah, Borderlands 3, baby. Let's get it. Bethesda. You let me down. Pretty much Bethesda has confirmed that at E3 this year, they will not be announcing Elder Scrolls 6. And I just don't understand. It's like, do you all not love us? Do you not want to give us what we want? I mean, we stood behind you for so long, Bethesda. Why don't you want to give us what we want? Give us the Elder Scrolls. Please. Anyway. PlayStation's State of Play live broadcast was this week as well. They announced several new VR titles coming soon, including Iron Man and Five Nights at Freddy's. Those looked amazing. They continue to push the tease for Days Gone and The Last of Us 2, which are both going to be amazing games. Those are going to be good. I guess PlayStation had to do this since they've announced that they're not going to be at E3 this year. Who knows? They may continue to release more information like this with these State of Play live broadcasts. I mean, you know, I feel like they feel like they don't have to go to E3. They have a big enough platform to do it themselves. And I agree. I think a lot of these companies like Microsoft with Xbox and, you know, Google coming up with Stadia and Apple coming up with Arcade and Sony with PlayStation. You know, you don't have to have a whole gaming conference. Just do it yourselves. But at the same time, I would love to go to E3 and have everything there together. But that's just me. Releases this week. Really only one worth talking about. That was the MLB The Show 19. New modes like March to October have been introduced. And they have refreshed the Road to Show mode. It's a pretty solid game. It pretty much is every year. So if you're into sports titles or if you're just into baseball, that's always a good one to pick up and try. I haven't really actually played in depth a baseball game since the days of Ken Griffey Jr. baseball on the 64. Me and my ace, Darryl, we would play that, man, and we would play home run derby till the lights went out. That was a fun game back in the day. So we're going to transition to a new segment we have now. It's called Technically Speaking. So, technically speaking, Apple has canceled the AirPower product. This was their charging mat that you can place your devices on and charge your iPhone. This is a quote from Dan Riccio, or Riccio. He is Apple's Senior Vice President of Hardware Engineering. Quote, after much effort, we've concluded AirPower will not achieve our high standards, and we have canceled the project. We apologize to those customers who were looking forward to this launch. We continue to believe that the future is wireless and are committed to push the wireless experience forward. Yeah, this would have been a good look, man. I mean, a lot of people, you know, scramble for chargers, trying to find a cable. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have been in meetings or situations where there's a lot of people together and they'll go, hey, let me get your charger. You got a charger? Hey, who had an iPhone charger? You know, like that. This would have kind of eliminated that. You know, everyone could just, you know, plop right there and everyone could have charged. But I guess there was too many holes in the hardware, or maybe even the software, or just the actual use of it. So they scrapped it. Anyway, I'm pretty sure they'll pick it back up if they figure out how to get it to work properly. In other news, T-Mobile's in the news a lot right here. T-Mobile has plans to roll out an ISP service, fully 5G, and I think it's going to be okay. I've never seen a cell phone service try to do this, and I don't know how successful it's going to be, but we will see. Also, they've announced a new thing. It's called the Phone Booth, and that is Phone Booth with a capital E at the end. Now, the phone booth is going to launch in New York City, Washington, D.C., and also T-Mobile's home city of Seattle, Washington. What it's going to be is this big booth. You guys should see it. Go online, check it out if you haven't. It's pretty much like this little booth. It's for anyone who's ever had a private conversation in public and is tired of people eavesdropping or worse. What this booth is going to do for people, it's worry-free charging. So whatever device you have, whether it be iPhone or Android, there'll be a charge station there for you. They'll have a magenta pages, basically, so you can seamlessly connect your smartphone, your T-Mobile smartphone, and get up close and personal with video calls, or just enjoy a big screen for better browsing. There's also a social mode in these booths. Basically where you can have your selfie game looking nice. They will have these various cityscape backgrounds and advanced filtering technology. So, that would be good for you all out there who still enjoy selfies these days. And it also has very next-gen soundproofing. So when you go into this booth, there's going to be pretty much no noise. It's going to it's going to limit down to the lowest possible decibel of noise. So that's going to be pretty dope. I can see these things having long lines outside of them. People waiting to get into the booth. They're going to have some kind of a timer on these things, or where you can get in there. Like, okay, you get in, you got this much time, now you got to get out. So they got to do something like that. But we'll see in the future what their plans are. Also, speaking of T-Mobile, more news with them. New York and California are leading several other states to file a lawsuit to block this merger with Sprint. Now, I am all for this merger. I myself have T-Mobile, and I want to see this merger happen. But, of course, if these two companies come together, they'll be more powerful. I mean, you have your major they are 2 of 4 major carriers out there when it comes to mobile service. And if they come together, I believe they have the potential to just pretty much bury AT&T and Verizon. They have the potential if they come together. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but the potential is there. But I guess the state of New York and California don't want to see that happen. They ain't having it. I don't know why they're blocking it. Some sort of FCC thing, who knows? But I'll look into this a little more, and we'll see what happens in the coming weeks if the lawsuits get filed and if they pretty much block this thing from happening. But that's all I got for you today, folks. I really, 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 really hope you enjoyed episode 2. Episode 2, I feel like it's going to sound a little better than last time. I know that there's some issues with the sound last time. Episode 1, I apologize for that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, hit us up on iTunes. Go to Spreaker.com. Subscribe to the podcast. Let me know what you think. Leave comments on iTunes. I will actually read your comments if you wish. Also, go to the social medias. Hit us up at Facebook at DYSG Media. Follow us there. Go to Twitter. Need more Twitter followers. @_ Do You Speak Geek. Again, at Twitter, that is @_ Do You Speak Geek. And hit us up on Instagram @Do You Speak Geek. Also, don't forget, go to the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Like the videos. Hulk smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to flick that bell to get all notifications. And again, leave comments. We want to know what you guys think. I am clamoring for some feedback here, people. That wraps it up, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Do You Speak Geek episode 2 is in the can. Episode 3 coming to you next week. And we'll see what we have in store then. Until then, y'all, I speak geek. Do you speak geek? Peace, people.